She is a cinnamon roll.
It's over. And it's all because of you. You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no illithid empire, no death god's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
That's the name of the game. Shit. Finish the game with a heartfelt thank you from Larian Studios. Complete the game in Tactician mode. 2 achievements. Fucking 10 out of 10, dude. Oh. You only get games like this once every 10 years minimum, chat. You feel the ending needs work? Really? I don't know. What was wrong with it? It was alright. I did the same thing. I clapped at the end. I did the Dark Yule Urge, and it was basically just a lame black screen. Good, get fucked. Also, there's a bunch of different endings, right? So, how many hours? I don't know. Will it say at the end? I don't know if it auto-saves or not. Well, the 17,000 is probably like 95% of them. There's like one small line change or something along the way. There's probably like 20 like actual endings, you know? It doesn't autosave? Well, we'll see after, and we'll add, what, like, 20 minutes? That was very good, man. The thing is, like, listen, was this game perfect? No. Because you just literally can't have perfect, right? The moment there's any small bug or anything like that, it is imperfect. But, like, it's just... There's just nothing better than this, right? This is the best, like... One of the best RPGs I've ever played, maybe the best, and by far the best CRPG, like, ever. So, if this doesn't get a 10 out of 10, like, what does get a 10 out of 10, right? This just has to be a 10 out of 10, like, at this point. But if it's like, oh, well, you know, there were some bugs and stuff like that, and, you know, drops a mark for me, then nothing will ever be 10 out of 10, right? But if we're, like, leave that stuff aside, because there wasn't, like, too much of it. I had a couple of, like, annoying bad bugs for sure. But, I mean, this is just, like, insane. Insane. 10 out of 10 is perfection, though? I don't know. Like, so you're saying literally nothing can ever be a 10 out of 10? Yeah, I think if we move to, like, the percentage scale, yeah. Then it's like a, you know, like a 97, 98%. And then we take off a few for some bugs and... Because there were bugs, right? Some bugs and some, like... some things that just could have been better about the game with, like, quality of life and inventory management and looting and things like that, you know? Merely taught the narrator, the game says you have to avoid 16 different narrations of the game depending on POVs and choices, so I would say there's about 15 to 20 major endings, yeah? That sounds about right. Best game since BG2? I didn't play BG2, so I don't know. But as I mean, it was phenomenal, right? And its replayability isn't like we're doing a second run, right? Like we're doing our co-op run side by side, and even that is already just like wildly different. Like I'm finding encounters I didn't even know existed and stuff. And we went like ham on this first playthrough. It was like 180 hours or something. Like we went in hard. No, I'm not gonna exit. I know there's something after the credits. I don't know what, but I know there's something. It was good, man. If I'm to be nitpicky, though, for sure, there were some bugs. Inventory management got a little annoying. The stuff with, like, your pets scaring people was really, really fucking annoying. It's clear that it's intended at this point. I think it's just a poor choice. A lot of clunkiness with, like, stealth mechanics and stealing and stuff like that. For me, so much to the point that it just made me not care, and I'd rather just go kill people and take what I want instead of, like, being sneaky and shit, you know? I think Tactician was way too easy. They talked a big cock game at the beginning, and then, like, during their panel, they're like, oh, it's custom tailored, it's so hard, ha ha ha, good luck at whoever tries it, and it was, like, kind of a joke, right? Let's be honest. It's kind of a joke. I would say those were, like, my major gripes with the game. Yeah, as soon as X-ray, yeah, exactly. And even before that, it wasn't crazy. And I know, like, the response to some of this is like, well, Sloot, mods. And that's cool that there's going to be mods, and there are mods and whatever. But you shouldn't have to depend on mods, right? To get that offer that they said they would give you, so... Camera's finicky, yeah, some tech stuff, or, like, you know, obviously, I definitely had some crashes, yeah, some FPS, like, was pretty bad in some areas, camera's a little fucky in some areas, stuff like that, but, like I said, this is just stuff where it's like, ah, you lose a % for this, lose a % for this, but overall, it's just like, it just doesn't get better than this right now, right? The large change that will affect difficulty would be just reverting the potion use, taking a full action like on tabletop, instead of a bonus action, yeah, maybe. I don't know, I mean, there's a ton of things they can fine-tune. Ultimately, even if they just kept everything the same, everything just had too little health. Yeah. Also, in my opinion, that last encounter was a little underwhelming with the red dragon and everything. But maybe that's because, like I said, everything was just a little undertuned. But, yeah. I don't play D&D now. You did it? Hooray! But like I said, that's if I'm being nitpicky, right? Like, if we're being nitpicky, there's definitely things they can improve, but it was still phenomenal, man. Like, it was... I'm honestly just sad now. I'm sad that it's over. I wish I could just, like, go on forever. Okay, not forever, but it makes me sad. I definitely feel like we've just came to the end of, like, a massive adventure. I feel like fucking Samwise at the end of Lord of the Rings now. Finally getting back to Hobbiton and going in his house after all that, you know? True, Jedi. I feel like empty now. My life has no purpose. What do I do with my life? Oh, wait. Starfield's. Your comp must have sucked because I felt the game was decently hard on balance. Oh, I don't know. I disagree. I mean, obviously I disagree, I said. Like, there's things like, you know, once you start getting in the conversation of, like, oh, well, like, as soon as the conversation's like, oh, if you found it easy, well, you could do this, that's where just stop the conversation, right? Because, like I said, in my opinion, I shouldn't have to do, like, a 2-player run. I shouldn't have to, oh, okay, well, then don't use extra action, don't use extra attacks, don't use potions, don't use haste. It's like, no. I should be able to use those, and the game should be built around that, knowing that that shit's OP, and it should be hard. Like, they just kind of flunked the tuning, let's be honest. A Shadowheart only run? Now, that's the real challenge, right? Yeah. I beat this in CP27 the same week my heart was hit by the big sad depresso. Unlucky, dude. It's anything like Div OS2, Definitive Edition of Beyond Near, which is a good time between. What did the definitive edition add for Divinity 2? I only ever played the definitive, so I don't remember what it had. I do overall, and like we've had this conversation before. It's not a this game thing. It's like a D&D thing. I definitely prefer DOS combat versus this game. I think there's just way more options and less restriction and more fun and stuff in DOS rather than these, like, home-cooked 5e rules. It was just really, like... It just felt like shitty looking at my bar, especially on, like, Jaheira. And she had all these cool spells that I could do. But you would never use any of them because they're concentration spells, and you just use one, and that's it for the whole fight, you know? Massive change, final act ending of... Oh, I see. Finishing it, better balancing, new quests, more dialogue options, new story beats. Oh, wow. So they added quite a bit. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, maybe they'll change the difficulty for that then. That I agree with, I think, BG3. Yeah, like, if we had BG3 with, like, DOS combat and, like, the mobs were tuned harder, more health and stuff, that's, like, jizz for me. But, like, a developed DOS 2 combat, obviously. Like, I wouldn't want DOS 3 to come out with DOS 2 combat, nothing more either. Yeah. I'm almost like, if Starfield wasn't coming out soon, I'd probably do another run of this. Just to, like a Dark Urge run or something. Just to, I want to see, like, wildly different choices and stuff like that. I mean, there's just so many arcs in the game that were so, like, completely locked you out of something else, right? Like, but what happened with Last Light In for us? Halcyon died. I don't fucking know what the Halcyon line's all about, you know? Right, Jedi Cam. It was good though, man. It was just fucking fantastic. It was beyond good. It was incredible. 100% of my favorite game. I don't remember last time I spent this many hours in a game that weren't like a live service game like WoW or Diablo 4 or something. In fact, when was the last time we did almost 200 hours? It's going to be over 200 hours with the other playthrough, but for one playthrough, 200 hours or like 180 hours. When was the last time we did that? Elden Ring, maybe? I don't think Elden Ring even hit that. I think Elden Ring was like 150 hours. Maybe. In fact, I can see. Because we only did one playthrough. $143 hours for Elden Ring. Crazy. Although, I mean, I will say, though, like, a lot of the time was spent, like, going into every house and clicking on every barrel to find nothing in it. I'm actually curious how much of my playthrough was literally just looting shit and, like, selling stuff to vendors and fixing inventory. Because I think it's, like, an actually non-zero, like, quite a non-zero amount. $50% at least. Like, I don't know about that high, but... Can you imagine a different game? Chat, reminder, you guys literally voted no Galecock in Act 1. We could have been dicked down hard, but nope. I didn't vote no Galecock. I mean, were you there? It was probably like 20%. Stop grouping us together. I voted for Galecock. When the time came, we either voted that we were like imagining him, and then you guys decided to vote that we were imagining him with his head on a spear. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And that was that. That was that. I did. It was funny, says Breeny. There you go. Oh, I could just scroll. Oh, that's fine. I like chatting about this. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think so, man. I think we need to start moving to 100% scale chat for our game ratings rather than a 10 out of 10 thing. Because to say this was like a 9 out of 10, I don't think is right. 9.5, I guess, but at that point, it's just like, yeah. Honestly, I think, yeah, for me, it was like 97% probably. Something like that, like insanely high. Rarely do games come that close. Like God of War, probably Elden Ring are in that range for me as well. Act 1 and 2, 99 out of 10. Act 3, 96 out of 100, and 96 out of 100. Ending for me was only 91. Only 91 out of 100. I thought the ending was fine. I don't know. This is what was expected to happen. Like what was a letdown for the ending for you? Thanks, Deja. You know, your ending's bugged out. Ah, okay, that's just like a shitty experience kind of thing, rather than like a writing issue. I think, you know, I almost think Act 2 may have been my favorite act. Thank you, Alf. Oh, we just did the Gale Bomb again. I don't actually know what happens at the end of the game. To be fair, I actually finished the game 80 hours ago because of that. I think Act 2 might be my favorite of all 3 acts. Act 3 was like insane density, but almost to the point that because I'm so OCD exploration, it was almost exhausting sometimes because my brain has to open every door and has to open every box and every barrel. It was almost overwhelming. It was a little exhausting, and I found the variation in like biomes, so to speak, was a little lacking because it was just non-stop city. So it was like a nice relief to go to like the Iron Throne and to go to the sewers and things like that because it was just non-stop city all the time. Yeah, Act 2 is... I think Act 2 would have been more annoying, though, if I didn't have a party that was so OP with, like, illumination and stuff like that. Sure, Garrus, yeah. Yeah, mine's like 97, I think, overall for the game. Can't remember when there was a game as good as BG2 that I was genuinely sad after beating it. Well, that's just it, right? You're sad that it's over. For me, it was this game, God of War, and Elden Ring are the recent games to me that it's like, oh, it's over. I'm sad now. Because you know, you can only play a game like that one. Like, you only have the first time playing a game like that one time. That's it. I haven't played Disco Elysium yet. Act 2 had the most direction. I think Act 2 had the coolest parts of the story, too. Especially if you're using Shadowheart. I don't know. I think everything about the Act 2 story was the best in the game, overall. I think Act 3 after that, and then Act 1 was... I mean, not that Act 1 was bad. Act 1 was just like, you're a little noob on the beach, right? Like, learning shit. Let's play Blooms now. It's 1 in the morning. But yeah, no, Act 2 was really cool. It started a little, like, annoying with the shadows and stuff, but I think it ended, like, insanely cool. With the Temple of Shar and Moonrise Towers and all that kind of stuff was very, very neat. And then Act 1 obviously gets the best, is the best for different biomes, because you just have so many, you go to so many different places, and it's so cool. You generally just feel like an explorer, finding new dungeons and stuff. Yeah, Marinir, I agree. I'm curious to see. I mean, I only very loosely saw like some of the, like, you know, barely played with Astarion. I'm curious to see like the in-depth version of those, because the only in-depth versions we got on our playthrough were basically Jaheira, Shadowheart, and like half of Gale, but then once we swapped Jaheira and Gale, then Gale's kind of fell off because we didn't see all the details of it. And Karlach, of course. Word gears. Yeah, there's just an insane amount of replayability in the game. Like, there's just so much. Like, after that amount of hours I spent in the game, I feel like I've only really seen probably less than 10% of all the different things that can happen and information in the game and blah, blah, blah. Character development and whatnot. It's like people I chosen, I was blown away by some of them. Like, I just almost started crying with Night Song. Oh, bitch. Yes, good man. My only disappointment from a biome perspective in the game Is that there was no snow area, man. I said that yesterday too, or the day before yesterday. Like, it actually makes me sad. I love snowy areas. You got an easy 1K hours in this before you pick up another game? You're not doing Starfield? I really like that snow. I do, man. I love winter areas and snow levels in games and shit. Like genuinely, really do. Playtesters chosen by the Absolute, is that what it said? Nice. Okay, so like 5 years from now, Gaffy. You'll be happy if Laren makes... I've never played either of those series. A lot of people. Seems like an optimistic timeline with 5 years. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously some dick sucking going on, but there's a lot of the people that have gotten those like review copies already have said that performance is actually pretty damn solid in it. You know, we will see in performance, and not just performance, like frame rate and stuff, but game stability and bugs as well. Loads of snow in those. I want Snow Map Annie too. I don't know what it is. Just gets me going. Yeah, I don't know, man. Something cozy. I love snowy areas in games. Has your faith in Bethesda? Right, when it's a bug you mess though. It'll make for some great memes. We're gonna BioWare. Did you guys see BioWare just fired like 50 people or something? Firing some bit of company restructuring and stuff. TikTok ideas. Isn't that thing they got banned off of? Did they get access to TikTok again? Does anyone know? That emote. Oh, it's just a 7-day ban, okay. You talking about BioWare variant? These are all thank yous from the devs. Oh shit, dude. I love some of these are just like shout out to everybody, and then there's like 15 paragraphs from some people. My dog Oliver helped final the game by begging for food in the kitchen and barking at playtesters. Jesus. This is from all like 400 people at their studio. That one guy takes up a whole half of a birthday card, right? To the ultimate troll, he knows why. Baldurian babies, holy shit, dude. No shot. Legal bits. I wonder how much money this game made the studio. Up to this point. 2.5 million early access players. You for playing this game, supporting us, and sharing our love for classic RPGs, Jim. 6 years? Yeah, I suppose 6 years is a long time.
There thou art, the dead three.
Oh shit, dude. Bill.
Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel, felled by mortals. I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
Yeah, Withers is OG Death God. We found out in Act 3. How did Withers stand in your camp? Well, we didn't know he was there the whole time when we weren't in camp, right? Is that the end? That's the end. Yeah, Withers was a really interesting character. Okay, so this is right before we went up for the fight. 164 hours. And that whole ending sequence took, plus the fight, what, 45 minutes, chat? Let's call it about 165 hours to play through. 166 hours. True noob. 166 hours for our first playthrough. Going in. Boom. Best 166. It's very good. It's very good. God damn, that was a good game. Man, I'm sad it's over. But I'm excited to still be playing the co-op run. 1193 quick saves. Does that count? Oh, it is just literally in that file. Okay. This is early access ones. COD like 2500. Yeah, but he's the ultimate scummer for that. There's also a book that describes what Jurgle looks like, as well as the fact that Jurgle asked the same question whether it was asked you when you met. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was in Act 3. That's what tipped me off to it. What is the price or the value of a soul or whatever? And I was like, hey, wait a minute. I found a bug where you can turn your whole party into full mind flayers with all abilities in Act 3. Ever enter something like they haven't transformed yet? What the fuck? Bedge? I mean, it is 1 a.m. I should probably just bedge and relax for a bit rather than starting something new. Right now for like 30 minutes would be the best option. No bedge? Chat, it's 1 in the morning. New character? Bro, we have a second playthrough going. Already with Giga Baldo. AC? Nah, I don't feel like it's here now. First time I resurrected someone, I was like, I'll strike your name for the record. I just stopped and went, okay, actually, Drew. Character creator? Just try this whole party of Mind Flayer bug to dick around. Man, I got other games to get ready for now in the next few days. By which I mean literally shopping and stocking up on food and stuff. You spam the boat before having all the gems? You're talking about in the ruins? I was 95% sure he was Jurgle when he asked the question when you first find him. He's a really, yeah, he's an interesting character. He gives me the same vibes as you get from like, it gives me the same vibes that you get from, like the what's his name? The fucking, the merchant in Resident Evil. It's just this like weird ass super OP side character that just like no one fucks with and it's just kind of always there. and you don't like really know who he is or what their history is or anything like that. They're just kind of there.